Okay, good afternoon YouTube and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. And today I wanted to share with you guys just another watch out of my collection, a story watch. Again, these are watches back from, this is a watch back in the day of around, the year of around 2004, 2005, when the whole hip hop style was really big in my life. You know, I tend to wear my baggy pants, I wore clothing larger, and I was in my, 19, 22 years old roughly. I forget exactly what age I was without doing the math there, and I don't want you guys to know how old I am actually, so that's the real reason. So I like to keep some things private on this channel. And so this is a watch from that time, and this is back when the Jacob & Company 5 time zone watch was super popular. It was just blowing up the watch game, and I mean everybody and their brother wanted a Jacob watch. The hip-hop industry, the movie stars were making this watch just super well known, and it was a 5 time zone big watch. It was always known for the diamond bezel and the different color bezels you can get, the different straps. It was really a watch that was one of the first watches that was really all about customizing, whether it be to change out the bezel with, like, canary yellow stones or whatever color you wanted. Jacob the jeweler can make it, and he was mentioned in so many rap songs that it was just iconic to the hip-hop industry, that if you were a rap star and you were into hip-hop, that you had a Jacob on your wrist. Now that was a watch way too expensive for me as a young guy. Even at this day in my life, I would never spend that much money on a watch. But around that time, a lot of different websites were coming up with, like, the hip-hop jewelry. And there's still a lot of hip-hop jewelry websites out there which sell basically the cheap, very cheap costume jewelry, basically. And this is one of those watches. This is one that was a company called Simon & Company, and I'm sure they're out of business. This is one of those watches that basically comes right out of China, like most things do, and they basically just slap a name on them and sell them on some of the hip-hop, there's a couple sites, I remember Hip Hop Bling, and a site like Ugleam, I think it was, that specialized in this kind of, grills and all this stuff that kind of surrounded the hip-hop industry for guys who wanted that sort of that look at really inexpensive prices. And when I think back on the price on this thing here, it really wasn't cheap for what you were getting. I think it was over $100, maybe $100, something like that. And I mean, really, this is when you think of when I think of the term, like when guys use the term shitter, this is a costume jewelry piece. This is not what you get with INVICTA or an Aragon watch or a Bulver, a Citizen, or even a Seiko. Those watches are all on par. This is costume jewelry. This is what you would expect nowadays to find on eBay in the maybe $20 to $30 price range. That's kind of the quality you're getting here. So let me just show you what it looks like. Basically, Simon & Company went and did their own, 5 time zone watch. It came with 5 different color bands. Again, not even leather, just like more of like a rubber, real thick with the cheesy, and I do consider it cheesy, the fake encrusted Simon & Company logo on the back. Really, I mean, crappy. It came in the case, but as a young guy, as a kid, going to the clubs and listening to hip-hop music, which I still listen to hip-hop music, but I don't wear anything like this anymore. You do have the fake stones in the bezel, although for its age, no stones missing. Watch still does work, but all 5 of the batteries are dead. Just not I don't know if this is a screw down case back, but they basically just kind of copied the Jacob & Company name and did it under their own name in far, far less of quality, not even a comparison. And you have some kind of like a blue, imitation stones, like a blue sapphire or whatever it is on each one of the crowns. Nothing screw down. I mean, just a very cheap watch, But in its day, look at how big it is. I mean, this watch measures, and obviously you can see that I've always liked large pieces. So 65 millimeters in lug to lug and about 50 millimeters in width. And I remember getting this watch, so weird how we desensitized. I remember getting this watch because 47 millimeter was considered huge because that's what Jacob & Company made. And then I got my hands on this and I started wearing it, and it was just like, I mean, people saw this thing, they're like, wow, but again, back then, the internet wasn't as prevalent. There wasn't as much on eBay. I mean, it was just a different time. Now there's a lot more information and a lot more watch or guys who are really into watches. And something like this, I mean, naturally, we get laughed at. Just like guys say that they laugh at the INVICTAs, or if it's on a Seiko. There's so many different opinions out there. Again, I always go back to my experience with watches in my collection, and I have a very broad spectrum of quality levels from what I paid for watches back in the day up to watches that I get now with sponsorship deals and what they cost, and of course all the watches, the Invictas and Aragons that I buy because I really enjoy the product. I mean, this isn't even on the same level as your, I mean, like your Pro Diver or one of your entry-level Aragons or the cheapest Seiko. This is just a garbage fashion watch, but it's a watch that I got, and as a young guy I wore with pride and I enjoyed it. And you know, when you're a young kid in the club, nobody really cares what that watch is on your wrist. They don't even know because they've never even heard of it. Younger guys weren't really into watches back then. I've always enjoyed watches, so whenever I wore a watch, nobody really knew what it was. Nobody knew if it was a real watch or not. It just was something on your wrist that they were like, damn, that thing's just blinged out. You know, and we were all rocking the fake diamond chains, and I mean, that was a style. I mean, you know, in some cultures and some areas of the country, that still is the style. It just kind of depends on where you live and, you know, the age group and stuff like that. Me personally, I'm more of just a jeans, boots, and leather jacket guy nowadays. So, but still a special watch, as they all are, with a story. So I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like on the wrist. Again, just a blinged out hip-hop watch. And what this, I think they've done is there was a watch back in the day that was it was definitely priced as a luxury brand, but it was called the Air Traveler, and it had this exact shape. And I used to have one of the Air Travelers, again, way back in the day. I think I ended up selling it. It was a cool looking watch. I had it on a bracelet. Kind of wish I still had it, but that watch there was very, very expensive. And they kind of copied the Jacob & Company design with the Air Traveler case, which is that kind of odd shaped case, which you really don't see in a lot of watches. But look how big that thing is, guys. I mean, I still think it's cool. Like, I'd probably wear it around the house. I mean, but it's still a watch for the collection. It still is a story, and it just still expresses my passion for collecting watches. All the watches that I have, even the crappy, cheap ones like this, still have a story, and they still have a meaning to me. And that's what I think, in my opinion, that's what collecting watches is all about. It's, you know, that you have a moment in your life when you wore this and when you remember getting it and the time frame and, you know, where you were living, what your responsibilities were. I just think it's cool. I think that, and no pun intended, collecting watches is like a timeline of your life. And I think it's just, like I said, I mean, I know I'm repeating myself here, but I think it's pretty cool to still have these, and I'm glad I never got rid of them. And I will never get ut of them. I mean, even though they just sit there in a watch box, it's still a story, and it's a story that I get to share with you. And the channel's grown so much, I'm so fortunate to be able to put up these videos and have you guys actually watch them, whether you like the watch or not. It's just, I just do appreciate you guys taking the time to watch, and we're going to crack 12,000 subscribers here any day. So, keep watching, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think of this monstrosity. Again, you know, if it was like an Invicta and like decent quality, I would still rock it. But I know what it is, so I just can't bring myself to. So, all right, guys. Thanks again for watching. Time for me to go hit up happy hour. You guys have a wonderful day. Like, comment, or dislike if you don't like it, but comment for sure. Be respectful, please. This one will probably get some comments. And if you do subscribe, click the bell to be notified anytime I upload a new video. Any link you're going to see in the description is going to be mainly for the Invictas and the smart home tech. I'm not going to link you to this because I know none of you will be wanting to buy this if it was even available. So, all right, guys, have a great evening and take care.